GBC News and GTV. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to the news. President Akufo-Addo is urging the youth in Ghana to embrace the Sustainable Development Goals because it is a framework provided by the UN to help preserve the environment, marine resources, and make the world a better place for the future. The president, who was interacting with the winners of the 2021 Junior Graphic National Essay Competition at the Jubilee House in Accra, advised them to be focused in their studies.
And Junior Graphic Essay Competition saw 2,970 entries, but these 10 young ones emerged winners. Since the competition is a partnership between the Graphic Group Communications and the Office of the SDGs at the Presidency, the winners came to express their gratitude to the President for the support. The Managing Director of Graphic Group Communications, Mr. Atuafo, said the competition has improved on the reading and overall performance of the students.
The Junior Graphic National Essay Competition is organized every year to evaluate the performance of our young writers and school learners in their performance in basic writing, sentence construction, amongst others. It also enables us to assist them with a certain degree of support to enable them improve on their reading and writing skills.
President, it is my privilege to present you a framed copy of my essay I wrote.
Presidential Advisor on SDGs, Dr. Eugene Owusu, said children and the youth are the real owners of the SDGs and should be empowered and need support. President Akufo-Addo advised the youth in Ghana to take the driving seat when it comes to the SDGs because their future hinges on them.
The SDGs are about preparing the globe, the planet, for the future. To prepare a planet, a globe where all of us can live in it sustainably. We can live in it equitably and at the same time preserve it. The planet as it is an inheritance from those who have gone before, our ancestors and forebears. It's our responsibility to take care of it so we can also hand it over to you and you can hand it over to your children and grandchildren so that we can perpetuate the human race in conditions of peace and stability.
President Akufo-Addo is a co-chair of the UN Secretary General's eminent group of the Sustainable Development Goals. Edward Nyaku, reporting for GBC News.
Following a Central Committee meeting on Wednesday, the Convention People's Party (CPP) has outlined modalities for the registration of new members and the re-registration of old members. The Director of Communication for the CPP, Mr. Sylvester Soprano Sapon, says the party's registration will be done online in line with current trends. Mr. Soprano joins me on phone line to discuss further. Good afternoon, Mr. Soprano. Thank you so much for joining us on News Hour.
Thank you so much for having the CPP on News Hour.
Well, can you tell us what are the timelines for the elections?
Well, thank you again, ma'am, and my regards to all CPP members and Ghanaians across the country. The timelines for the elections is as follows. In the month of June, by the end of June, we expect to have the polling station and electoral area election. That's for the month of June. Ending of July, we will have the constituency level elections. Then ending of August, we will have the regional elections. September, October, we will have the national elections to choose our national executive. And then November, December, we will choose our flag bearer to contest the 2024 election and save the Republic of Ghana.
So will these elections be held across all 16 regions of the country?
Yes, ma'am. In line with the prevailing trend, we'll be holding the elections across the country using a digital strategy. So the voting for all the polling station elections and the electoral area elections especially will be done electronically. As you know, the bedrock of our electoral system is the polling station. And indeed, if you remember, Dr. Afarijan, the former electoral commissioner, said, we put it succinctly, that the elections are won and lost at the polling station. So we expect that when we finish with the polling station elections, the Convention People's Party should have at least 800,000 polling station executives. 800,000 polling station executives. And that will be the bedrock of our party. And we go to the election and we will not be getting zeros anymore. We should start the 2024 election with a minimum of 800,000 Ghanaians at the polling, at the ballot box voting for us.
All right then. So when are prospective applicants required to pick up forms?
Well, so what we're doing right now is registering members. So if you want to be a member, you see, because you need to be a member first before you can, apply to be a polling station executive and an electoral area executive. So you just need to go on your phone and dial star 920 hash 27. Forgive me, let me do it again. You dial star 920 star 277 hash. I repeat, star 920 star 277 hash. When you do that, you will get on your phone, welcome to the Convention People's Party. You choose one to become a member. Then you input your voter ID number from the new voter ID card, not the old one, the new voter ID card number. And then your details will automatically show up on your phone. And after you are registered, you get a special number and you receive a text message confirming that you are now a registered member of the CPP. And then subsequent to that, you will be contacted by your constituency level executive for the CPP and you'll be able to receive your membership card. I might want to add, if you would permit me, I would like to say that we will vote electronically. The voting will be done digitally. So if you look at the way they do Diasa, the TV show on Atenka TV, that you can vote digitally for a contestant. That is how we are going to do it. And there will be a dashboard so that the electoral commissioner or the electoral commission will be able to monitor the vote and then certify the election. Okay, so the results will be declared by the electoral commission, please.
Okay, so what is a party doing actually to attract the youth to its fold?
Well, thank you for that question. As we have been saying, in Akan, there's a balance. They say Obinche Akranyame. Ghanaians have had the experience of the National Democratic Congress in power, and then they are experiencing the dire economic situation under President Akufo-Addo. That is the New Patriotic Party. So Ghanaians have had that experience. And then Ghanaians also remember the golden years of Ghana's economy when the Convention People's Party was in power under the leadership of President Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. You remember that when Ghanaians went for the Fix the Country demonstration, it was as if President Kwame Nkrumah had sent them. It was all about President Kwame Nkrumah and what the Convention People's Party was able to do for Ghana. So my answer to your question is that Ghanaians know what the people and the Convention People's Party can do for the country. So they are looking back to the golden days of Ghana, and they know that the CPP can actually deliver. We are not about slogans. We are not going to be telling you stuff like, we have the men, and then come and perform abysmally. We will not do that. We will use the strategies that the CPP deployed in the 60s during the golden years of Ghana, and we will refine it and make sure that we create mass employment for Ghanaians. The CPP will make sure that we create, affordable housing in the thousands, tens of thousands, so that our youth can actually get places to rent. We will create a situation whereby the youth of this country, do not have to dwell in wooden kiosks and defecate in the kiosk and sleep in that same kiosk. We will not tolerate that. We will change that. The Convention People's Party will ensure that healthcare is available affordably to Ghanaians. Okay, and we will restore the dignity of the Ghanaian. The Ghanaian youth especially will not be living in this current dire situation where they have no dignity because they have no jobs and they have no place to stay. And they don't even have toilets to go to, for crying out loud. So this is the kind of future that we envisage for the Ghanaian people. And the Ghanaian people, they know that they can deliver. We have done it before. We want to return Ghana back to the olden days. And it is only people that can. We will not promise Ghanaians that we have the men, can come and perform so terribly poorly. We will not do that.
But we still go to the polls and you record zeros. What accounts for that? Have you done research to really find out what accounts for the zeros that you record? Because you always promise taking Ghanaians back to the golden age. We know this, but yet still we go to the polls and you record zeros.
Well, ma'am, what has been happening is that the Convention People's Party has not been able to conduct polling station elections. You see, we've not had polling station executives since the 1992 Constitution. So, essentially, at the polling station, we do not have representation. If you take a look at the PPP right now, the party is concentrated at the top, from the constituency level to the national leadership. We are not even up to 3,000 people. We are not more than 3,000 Ghanaians in that bracket. However, if we finish conducting our polling station elections, at a minimum, the Convention People's Party will have over 800,000 polling station executives. And that will be the bedrock of our party as we enter the 2024 election. So we are assuming that if even each polling station executive, all of the 800,000 of them, if each one of them is able to bring 10 people to come and vote for the Convention People's Party, it will be a happy day in Ghana because the CPP will win and then we'll be able to save Ghana from the disaster. That is the President Akufo-Addo administration.
All right, we wish you the best of luck. Mr. Sylvester Soprano Sapon is the Director of Communication for the Convention People's Party, CPP. The celebration of Queen Elizabeth II as the first British monarch to celebrate a platinum jubilee of 70 years of service to the people of the United Kingdom and the Commonwealth has been dedicated to the empowerment of women across the world. The Rotary clubs in Ghana, the University of Ghana and the Accra Metropolitan Assembly have therefore organized a youth advocacy forum to create awareness about women's issues globally while celebrating women's achievement. The 6th February 2022 was when Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II was recognized as the first British monarch to attain that feat. To complement this, a number of programs, including the Youth Forum, which seeks to celebrate women's achievement and accelerate gender parity, are being organized. The theme for the forum, Empowering the Next Generation of Women for Global Leadership, attracted leaders from different organizations and academia who discussed and shared knowledge on inter-club and inter-country projects geared towards socio-economic empowerment of women and sexual harassment, among others. Whilst celebrating women's achievers, the Vice-Chancellor of the University of Ghana, Professor Nanaba Apia-Amfo, advised young women to look up to them for success. Managing Director of Africa Environmental Sanitation Consult, Mrs. Abna Asmenin Entry, admonished accomplished women to leave a legacy for the young.
Imagine a world where women are placed in right spaces, where decision-making actions are taken. We will do amazing things because we are not only going to be thinking about ourselves, think about generations beyond us. It's our duty. We are born like this.
The immediate past District Governor of Rotary District 9102, Mrs. Yvonne Kumuji Darko, called on society to implement policies that will improve the well-being of women.
We must encourage society to prioritize projects policies, initiatives that improve the health, well-being, education, and economic security of girls in our communities and around the world.
Various speakers lauded the leadership of women across the globe. Activities lined up for the celebration include a talk on Queen Mother's empowerment and the lighting of the Queen's Platinum Jubilee beacon.
The internal auditing team at the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation on Friday visited the various departments of the organization to educate them about the importance of auditing and to allay their fears that auditing is not a witch hunt as is perceived by some people. Auditing is defined simply as an inspection of various books of accounts by an auditor, followed by physical checking of inventory to ensure that all departments have the following documented system of recording transactions. It is basically a way of ensuring that things are done properly for easy accountability.
The internal audit team visited various departments of GBC, including the newsroom, the canteen, the offices of the acting directors of TV, radio, and finance. The acting director of internal auditing at GBC, Mrs. Joanna S. King Ataja, who is also the chairman of the advocacy and regulatory compliance of the internal auditors agency, said the initiative is to help staff and management know that the team is there to guide, correct, and control processes in the organization.
Internal audit is a management tool, a management function that we review management rules and regulations, policies and procedures, and ensure that all employees comply.
The acting director of television, Mr. Ebenezer Ampabin, testified that the presence of internal auditors has helped them to become better managers of scarce resources.
This, I believe, will help us do better, because there are many things we take for granted until at the end of it all, auditors come and discover.
The acting director of radio, Mr. Yao Opokwe Japan, congratulated the team for their initiative and emphasized that internal auditors are not policemen, rather they are around to help.
Assurance I'm giving, which I believe we started doing already, is that we'll use the radio platform, the TV platform, and the online platform to disseminate the notion that auditors are there to guide us, to make sure that the right processes are followed.
The acting director of finance, Reverend Ebenezer Botri, described audit as a third eye and said an organization that has a strong internal audit team has just a few issues with external auditors.
For me, working with that audit is like creating the path without anybody looking behind you.
As the world celebrates International Bee Day, environmental scientists are calling for a new multidisciplinary approach that involves farmers, beekeepers, and environmentalists to protect the natural habitats of bees. Bees are important pollinators, but existence are under threat from negative human activities. CSIR's Food Research Institute, together with the Ghana Beekeeping Association, marked the 2022 World Bee Day in Accra.
Marked on May 20th each year to raise awareness about the importance of bees both in the natural environment and for humanity. Bees play a major role in maintaining a balance between humans, plants, animals, and the environment. Without bees, food would be scarce, and a vast portion of the population would perish from starvation. This is because bees help in agricultural production around the world by pollinating. Human activity still remains a threat to the bee population. Statistics show that about 35% of all invertebrate pollinators, particularly bees and butterflies, are facing extinction. At a ceremony in Accra, a research fellow, Dr. Courage Bessa Adanu, said bees contribute a lot to society and urged major players to find ways of making the activities of bees more friendly with regards to pollination. The president, Ghana Bees Association, Mr. Patrick Adonewman, highlighted the use of weedicides and pesticides by farmers as a major challenge facing the association.
How our bees will get nectar to produce more honey for us is becoming a problem. And so the government have to come in so that at least either they create bee zones for us, especially in the transition zone where we get a lot of nectar for our bees to produce, so that we'll be able to feed the country and then to export. Because now the demand for honey across the world is so high.
The team lead, Macroeconomic and Trade Section, Mr. Timothy Dolan, said Europe is a huge market for honey and urged producers of honey in Ghana to take advantage of the market opportunity. The Deputy Director and Chief Research Scientist at the CSIR, Professor Charles Torto, said cutting of trees drives the bees from their natural habitat and called for practical solutions to avert the situation.
We are driving the bees away from us. The bees are going further away into the bushes where it's difficult to access. But we need the bees. So today we are saying that it's time to engage the bees and make them better for local markets and for export markets.
There are almost 20,000 different species of bees in the world. Bees live in colonies. In each colony, there are 3 types of bees: the queen bee, the worker bee, and the drone. The theme for the 2022 World Bee Day is Be Engaged, celebrating the diversity of bees and beekeeping systems.
The Forest Services Division of the Forestry Commission in the Central Region has taken delivery of 1.6 million seedlings to be distributed ahead of the second edition of the Green Ghana Day in June this year. The Deputy Manager of the Forestry Commission, Madam Dorothy Damson, encouraged institutions, organizations and individuals to participate in the tree planting exercise to make it a success.
The Green Ghana Project initiative is to contribute to the global fight against the effect of climate change and to restore the country's forest cover. A deputy manager at the Forestry Commission in the Central Region, Madam Dorothy Damson, said the Commission is working towards whipping up the interest of the public in tree planting.
Because we have started taking advantage of the rains, we are hoping that between 80-90% we should have success. We are human beings. This is human nature. Human beings are going to take care of it. So we cannot guarantee 100% success. Last year, for instance, some of the seedlings that were planted along the roadsides, they were neglected. And so we've given advice as to how to protect them using cages, using car ties, making sure that they are well watered.
The Deputy Director of the Commission, Mr. Lawrence Fosu, said the plants must be nurtured to grow to achieve the purpose for which they were planted.
We have your particulars, the location, the GPS even coordinates of the area you are going to plant. We are picking them all. So at any particular moment, we can come to you and then go and check how to advise, to give you the technical advice. So when we come and there is zero planting, you have questions to answer. There's going to be punitive sanctions because the seedlings were raised at a very high cost.
First, he was a phone repairer. Then he went into gold mining when the phone repairing business took a nosedive. This was another unsuccessful venture, so he resolved to try his luck this time around with shoemaking, and this has turned his fortunes around. This is the story of Francis Zuta, a 46-year-old physically challenged shoemaker, bringing hope to others through his craft. Our reporter Beatrice Enaju has visited his mini manufacturing shop.
As fate will have it, Francis Zuta, who is 46-year-old, is physically challenged. He was not born with a disability but had measles many years ago, hence his condition. As the saying goes, disability is not inability, and Francis has learned a craft and owns this mini shoe-making hub here in Kaswa. After trying his hands on many businesses, he sees this as a game-changer for him and his family. He briefed me on his humble beginnings.
Through the practice of radio, television servicing, I turned it to mobile phone repairs. So I became a full mobile phone repair, and I was doing that to take care of my 4 children.
His day at the shop begins as early as 7 a.m. Francis started this shoemaking business with 500 cedi. He worked alone for some years and then opened his doors to recruit other physically challenged persons on the street and trained them in shoemaking. He walked the talk in this regard.
When I'm moving or I'm walking on the street and I see these beggars on those kind of things, I feel very bad. Because sometimes you will be moving around and somebody may think you are a beggar, so they want to give you something. Whereas maybe what the person is giving you, you have enough than that. So sometimes you will feel embarrassed. So I say, no, how can I get these people out of the streets? So I decided to create something like home for them. I don't have much to do that. So I begin with the sandals making, and then the phone repairs. I begin with that one.
Francis started out with about 20 physically challenged persons learning the craft, but the number has dropped to 5 apprentices. He explained that most of his recruits have faulty wheelchairs, which make it difficult for them to commute to work every day, considering the distance from home to work.
The movement is a problem. The movement, they are upgoing and coming. Yeah, sometimes when they come like this and it's late, sometimes I have to get them a taxi, something to drop them home. And this place too is not all that kind of busy here. So sometimes your manager gets something small, then you give them something also small to manage for themselves.
Sandals at Francis's shop are on sale for between 50 and 100 Ghana cedis. But even at this price, it is difficult getting customers sometimes.
As at now that I'm talking to you, I'm not looking at the profit, but I'm looking at how to bring people close to me and then teach them their handwork.
Richard Dapa is an apprentice at Francis Zuta's shop. He is also physically challenged and keenly learning the job. To Richard, Francis Zuta is a mentor who has impacted his life and has also changed his perception about his ability as a physically challenged person.
During the lockdown, we find things difficult for ourselves. So, thing was not going on, so I'm in the hope. And he called me that when the business is not moving anymore, I should come and join him here, so that we'll to start something. So that's how I came here and started my learning this much.
These are their challenges.
If you have wheelchair, you can't come. It's difficult, so unless you have somebody to push you. So I'm planning how to raise money and then buy a cement, then do the place and then change the entire environment, either to do some renovation here so that it will be suitable for people with disability.
The story of Francis Zuta is a true reflection of a quote by American retired biker racer, filmmaker and writer Jamie Paulinetti, which reads, "Limitation live only in our minds, but if we use our imagination, our possibilities become limitless." From the above, many people with disabilities show great determination and dependability. Francis is calling all persons with disability to inspire others by changing their story and breaking the glass ceiling. He's also calling on willing organizations to invest or partner with him to expand his business, which will in turn create avenues for persons living with various forms of disability in the country. If you can master one craft as someone who is physically challenged, the sky is a starting point for you, just like Mr. Zuta has done. Knowing one thing and doing one thing very well is a starting point for you. Disability is not inability. Let's come together, learn something, and build ourselves and help our nation grow. For GBC News, Beatrice Sanaju reporting.
You're watching News coming to you live on GBC News and GTV. We're taking a short break. We'll be back with more news. Please don't go away. And in business, telecommunication giant MTN will increase capital expenditure this year despite the risk of an inflation to the business. Despite a marginal drop in the company's capex in 2021 relative to 2020, Group Chief Executive of MTN, Ralph Mupita, says Ghana's inflation rate of 23.6% will not reduce its appetite for investment. Mr. Mupita, who is on a working visit to Ghana, has been engaging a section of the media.
This is Mr. Mupita's third visit in 5 months to the Ghana wing of the MTN business. MTN Ghana, third largest in the MTN conglomerate, seen as a model in the sub-region, returned over 2 billion cedis in profit to the mother company in 2021. After 25 years of operations in Ghana and with over 25 million subscribers, MTN Ghana is now classified as a significant market player. Strong financial performance under challenging conditions. At the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, when most companies went under, MTN Ghana grew its profits 38.4% to 1.4 billion cedis in 2020. Mr. Mupita attributed the growth to an aggressive infrastructure expansion drive.
Investing in the network, making sure that we're doing 3G, 4G pop coverage, covering the urban areas, covering the rural areas. So that investment has been made for multiple years. And in many respects, I would argue it was quite fortuitous that ourselves and maybe other market participants have taken the view that says the future of the global economy, including ours, is going to be really, really impacted by the digital economy. So we saw that and we said that's a 10, 20, 30 year.
In the medium term, MTN Ghana will increase capex despite a continuous rise in inflation, which is eroding capital.
We need to manage the short term, but we need to build a business for the long term. So to your question about investment, the current conditions do not reduce our appetite to invest. We want to have a sustained investment program so that in a market like Ghana, that every Ghanaian has the capacity to enjoy the benefits of a modern connected life. We're not changing that view. So if we are true to that vision, we must sustain the capex. Yes, there may be some margin pressure here and there, but we will figure it out. We'll find more efficiencies.
The MTN Group has keen interest in the Ghana business due to a vibrant business ecosystem and a stable political environment. Although the company's share price saw an 18.9% drop following the implementation of the e-levy, managers of the company are hopeful of a strong rebound.
The Acting Deputy Director General Conformity and Assessment of the Ghana Standards Authority, Dr. Clifford Frimpong, says promotion of quality through measurement does not only lead to reduction of waste, but allows trade, enables infrastructure to function, technology to advance, and fuels economic prosperity in nations. He is therefore urging Ghanaians to adopt the culture of measurement, which is the essence of metrology.
Metrology, as the science of measurement, plays a central role in scientific discovery and innovation, industrial manufacturing, and international trade, in improving the quality of life and in protecting the global environment. It also covers the measurement infrastructure that ensures that we have confidence in the measurements wherever they are taken in the world, which is essential in encouraging people to adopt new technologies. The 2022 edition of the World Meteorology Day is being celebrated under the theme, Meteorology in the Digital Era. This year's theme has been chosen to create awareness of the important role measurement plays in the era of digitization. Digitization has been one of the key strategies of the government in carrying out its transformation and development agenda. The authority has rolled out the GSC Core Operations, in short Core Ops, which is a digital platform designed to offer clients an amazing customer-focused, user-friendly experience where the authority's operations are easily accessed by the public for effective and timely delivery of service.
And that's it for your business. We'll be right back.
Dealing with the filth in Accra. The gutters are